I'm Latoya,
And I'm Darnell.
and
And
this
this
is
is
the
the
Medlock
Medlock
Show.
Show.
Another Hood Fibers classic. Another Hood Fibers classic.
Yes. We got another HF classic. It's the Medlocks podcast, guys, and we are here to do a show for everybody out there today. Right to my left, okay, we got the one and only, the oft imitated, never duplicated, internationally known Manville's finest, Springs finest, Grand Oaks finest, King Ty's in the building. Speak to the people, man. Tell the people what's up.
Man, it's good to be back. It's great to be back.
That's what's up. And then also we have another special guest today on my right hand, the one and only, my other half, Latoya O'Boya.
Hey, everyone. The shimmy shape.
Yeah, when I met you, you did that. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, so, and I'm Lock VIP. Y'all know what it is. With that being said, guys, this is a particular special show because we all are going through this pandemic at the moment, and man, oh man, is it not whipping our asses, or is it not whipping our asses right now, right?
It definitely is. It is kicking all the way.
It's kicking ass and taking names. And I don't know why that thing is like that, but it's okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah, roll.
it
we
is
coming for you.
definitely coming through and knocking us all out.
Well,
Not killing us, but just kicking our ass with just spreading.
this is true. I don't know why, but it's the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we wanted to give some guidance based upon an article in the Wall Street Journal, what we've read, and we're gonna go through the questions and give our take on it. And welcome to the Medlocks podcast,
Welcome.
where we give you the black millennial couple perspective of a lot of things that we have. I'm your host. These are my co-hosts, and we're happy to be here. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Omicron variant of the COVID-19. With that being said, first question is, the one thing you don't want to be is positive, right?
Right.
So, according to the CDC, if you're positive, they want you to isolate. When they say isolate, that means be in the room by yourself if you can, away from others,
Right.
for 5 days.
No, 10 days.
No, it says if you have no symptoms after 5 days, you may leave isolation. So I guess if you have symptoms, then you do stay for 10 days. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. If you test positive, then you isolate for 10 days. But let's first talk about our own experiences,
Okay.
Okay, I can take that.
because I tested positive for ovarian, and I started feeling symptoms. I started with a sore throat, and then it went to me having chills, and then I started to have a whole headache. Then after a day or so, then I started coughing a little bit, and then my nose felt like it was runny, but it wasn't draining. It was just running. And after a couple of days of that, I think all of my symptoms lasted a total of maybe 3 or 4 days, and that was it. So that was my experience with COVID.
What was your experience, King Ty? What you got for the people?
Sadly, your boy caught COVID that day. All I know is when Toya first caught it, I know the only thing I was feeling right now was one, I was a little sad at first. I was like, dang, she got COVID. Then the only symptom I had before I tested positive was I just had a itchy throat. That's it. Just a scratchy throat. That's all. And how I found out I was positive was I was on the game with my friend and cousin, and I remember you called my name. Then you showed me the phone. Then I looked at the bottom. It said negative. I was like, oh, okay. Then I said, wait, I seen something at the top. It was my name. It said positive. I was like, wait, what? But I was going through some emotions. I was in denial because I was like, there's no way I have COVID because I didn't even have any symptoms. I felt fine. I felt perfect. I was like, nah, they messed up my test. I want to retest. Then I told some family members, they were saying, you could be anti-Semitic. I was like, no, that's not possible. That's not true. I was
asymptomatic.
I'm like, you can have it with no symptom. I was saying, that's not true. You can't have that. I want to retest. I demand a retest. They messed up my test. I was also shocked because I was like, I never expected me to catch COVID. And
You never expect yourself to catch COVID. You never expected yourself to catch COVID, correct?
Correct.
I don't think any of us,
Right.
because I too was positive, and my symptoms happened to be I had a headache initially, and I'm the one that actually had a fever, but it was a mild grade. It was I think it was 101 or something like that.
Yeah.
I went to work. I felt some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
I said, let me get tested, just whatever. And I work at a particular place. So anyway, I got tested. It was positive. I went home. I isolated for 10 days, and I had joint pain, and I had
Chills.
the loss of I had the chills, the loss of taste and smell. But I can honestly say that it wasn't killing me. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, this is the worst. I've had other ailments that have really, really knocked my boots out. Like, so when I was going through it, in the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, is this shit just randomly gonna take over my lungs, and then I'm gonna have to go to the doctor and like how I see on the news and get the respirator and the ventilator and all that. Like, I'm like, okay, I just don't want that to happen. But once it was done, it's all said and done, I was like, I'm just grateful that I came out alive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody came out alive.
Yes.
Everybody came out alive.
Right. And I feel like this new strand, the old variant, I feel like it's more so of a cold. It doesn't really feel like, in my personal opinion, it doesn't feel like COVID. It feels more so like you know how we all used to get colds, or you used to get the flu or so? That's exactly how it felt. But now everything is reverted to COVID. I mean, you can't even catch a cold anymore, in my opinion, I feel, because everything at the end of the day reverts right back to COVID. It's the same symptoms as a regular cold. It's the same symptoms as the flu. So, that's just my opinion. I just had a cold.
According to the CDC, we have the facts, and this is from Wall Street. So it says that if you guys out there, if you test positive, right, whether you vaccinated or not, boosted, all of that, you need to isolate for 5 days. That's off the rip. Now, if you have no symptoms after the 5 days, then you don't have to isolate anymore. But when you're around other people, you're gonna have to continue to wear a mask. As for another 5 days, that's what's being reported. Okay, if you have a fever, then you should just stay home as opposed to going out and stuff like that. And also it says that you shouldn't travel at least for 10 days after your first testing positive. Okay, so that's what's the guidance right now that we have. All right.
And you said that's if you test positive or negative.
So if you test positive.
Okay.
So now So now, going forward, we're gonna talk about if you have anything else about isolation, positive or anything before we go on.
The only thing I want to say for my topic is the same thing Toy mentioned, like the cold, COVID, flu, same symptoms. Cause and my mom like, how can they tell the difference if someone tested positive? Maybe they had a cold or maybe they had a flu instead.
Indeed.
And then just one more thing on the positive. If you test positive, in New York, it says that they are making an exception for healthcare workers or like people who work at the convenience store or schools. They are allowing them to go back in 7 days under certain conditions.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's another thing if you test positive as far as New York goes.
Copy that. So now it says, if I get a negative test result during my isolation period, can I stop isolating? So you got positive test result. You started isolating because you was positive, and then you decided you're gonna get tested again because you've completed that.
10 days.
It says no. You can't stop isolating. It says no, doctors say false positive rapid tests are rare and a rapid test isn't as effective, or excuse me, as sensitive as a PCR test. So you can't necessarily interpret a negative rapid test result as a sign that you're no longer infectious. So that's one thing that we can discuss right here is like your rapid test, and then you have your PCR test, and the PCR test is the one that actually takes a little bit longer to come back with the result.
Correct.
Rapid results, obviously, they're rapid. They come back sooner. Those aren't as sensitive as the PCR, so be mindful of that. Anything?
Yeah. So my question is, why would it not be as the same as a PCR test? I mean, what really is the difference whether you take it and it takes 2 days to give the results or it takes 2 hours to give you the results? It should be all the same, shouldn't it be?
I mean, I would think that. I mean, it could probably get deeper as far as like why this test is less sensitive than this test, but yet it's faster or whatever. Maybe it could be they want to sell whoever's making the rapid test, they getting money. Whoever's making the PCR test, they getting money. Everybody eats. Whoever has the vaccines, those companies getting money.
Right.
Everybody eats.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody eats. So at the end of the day, you could take it as however you'd like to take it, but that's a great take. What about you, King Time?
I don't know how there could be a difference, and sometimes I feel like the test could be wrong or whatever, or false, or maybe an error could occur because you never know, because we don't know when we like take the when we put the things up our nose, we don't know what they do after, because maybe they could do something to affect the test or whatever. We never know.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think out there on YouTube. We appreciate y'all for watching today's episode, and make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the channel, and we just appreciate y'all for coming out to watch us and listen to what we got going on for today's podcast, which we talking about the O variant. With that being said, though, that's just a topic that can go right down the rabbit hole as far as why they not the same and this and that, and I don't have the black and white in front of me, but I was listening to another show. Shout out to Black Dot and his son Malcolm, the Urban X podcast, and one of them was saying that I think the rapid test, they have a lot of inaccurate results, I believe. If I don't take me to the bank with that, but they were saying something about one of the tests is not as accurate. But anyway, Anything else on that topic?
Yes, because my thing is to what has changed then if that was the case. If they're trying to say the rapid test is not as accurate, what has changed from before? Because before, when we had the other forms going on, they used to do rapid in hospitals or wherever just so that they could get the results to know right away if a patient was positive or not. So then it was okay, but now it's not okay for rapid.
Well, I don't want to say it's not okay. I would just say that
No,
they
I
saying
know,
that it's
but-
not as sensitive.
But they're saying it's not as accurate as if you do a PCR test, which takes longer. So I'm just saying, to me, it just
Shouldn't we
doesn't
just
really
ban it then?
make
Let's
sense.
just ban
And, right.
Right. Okay.
It just doesn't make
that
sense.
way, just go with the sure shot. If it takes a couple of days, then oh well, just gonna take a couple of days. But we don't have the room for unsure.
Right.
You know what I'm
right.
saying? We don't have the room for, that could have been a false positive. But they say that is very, very rare. I mean, nothing is perfect, but at the end of the day, I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah. I just want to know what
What you're
changed.
trying to say. Okay, guys. So it says, do close contacts who are vaccinated or boosted have to quarantine? So right now, let's put it in context. So if you're positive, right, we're talking about if you're positive, right? So it says, do close contacts if they're vaccinated, your cousin, your mother, your aunt, your sister, your brothers, your children, or boosted, because you can get a booster because the regular vaccine now you gotta get another one. You gotta go for the third jump off. You know what I'm saying? And possibly a fourth jump off. So right now, who knows? This could be a every year thing, maybe 3 shots a year, 4 shots a year. It's like, okay, and but we're gonna stay on course. We don't want to go too far. We want to stay on course at the moment. So with that being said, it said vaccinated and boosted people exposed to someone who's positive should wear a mask for 10 days, and they should take a test 5 days after they was exposed, if possible, according to the CDC. People who are unvaccinated should stay home for 5 days and wear a mask around others for an additional 5 days, with a test recommended on day 5. If they develop symptoms, then they should stay home. I think that that kind of just makes me feel uncomfortable because it seems like you still in the same boat if you vaccinated or not boosted.
Right.
You could be boosted, vaccinated, not vaccinated. Everybody's on that same boat, in my opinion. Now, others may say, well, you are less likely to be hospitalized because you have it. You're less likely to die because you have it. And you should have more milder symptoms if you get jabbed up, right? But my rebuttal to that thought is the survival rate of COVID patients is like 90+%, right? If you was gambling and I told you got 90+% chance to win this bet, are you not gonna put your money up? That's number one. Number two, my rebuttal would be, I'm 100% not gonna get any adverse reactions to the jab. Why? Because I didn't take it. So my 100% trumps anything because that's a guaranteed fact. Okay, so that's my rebuttal to people who's on the vaccination situation. And then lastly, like I said, you the survival rate is good. So I mean, I'm 100% not gonna get adverse reactions because I don't even get it in the first place, and chances are 90+%, so to survive. So that's just what I think. So y'all could chime in on, because I kind of went on a tangent about being vaccinated or not, but We could,
Well,
we
that's
could dive
okay.
into that.
But the thing about it is what first thing people need to understand is just because you're vaccinated does not mean that you still can't get any variant. And I think a lot of people feel like, oh well, I'm vaccinated, so I can't get it.
Nah, that's why I think we need to educate ourselves. That's why I'm going based upon this article.
Correct.
Because we don't want nobody to say that we not fact checked or whatever. This is the Wall Street Journal article that we're asking these questions from, giving you insight from the answers from these questions that they're asking in the article. So nobody can say we not going behind, with some black and white.
Right. But my thing is that people should know whether you're vaccinated or not, you still can catch it. And I personally speaking know people who have been vaccinated and we've experienced the same exact symptoms. So that's just my experience.
You want to chime in on that as far as being vaccinated or unvaccinated? Because you're actually vaccinated.
Yes, I am
that is true.
And you had mild symptoms. In fact, you had no symptoms. You had like a slight scratchy throat. So therefore, you can honestly sit here and say you've been vaccinated and you experienced COVID and you had very, very mild symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
So in that regards, that's true as well.
Yeah.
So my take, I think the only thing I don't understand is why the government is forcing this upon everybody. If you could still catch COVID, then what's the point of taking it if I could still catch COVID? Because a personal life experience, when I had to get the vaccination shot, I actually did not feel good. Like I actually had some symptoms when I took the shot. Like I had a fever, I had a runny nose, I had a cough, I had the chills, and I had a really bad headache when I took the vaccination.
First shot or the second?
Both.
Wow.
Oh, and wow. It seems like they gave you, if you ask me.
Yeah, it sounded like they like put it in there. And my sister had she had the same thing I had too. We both didn't feel good that day too.
And she actually had COVID before.
Yes. This is she got the shot after COVID.
Oh. Somebody's phone ringing, y'all, but at the end of the day, this is what it is. This is the Medlock Show. We keep it raw and uncut for y'all, so it is what it is. We're going to keep it moving.
Oh, but another thing I wanted to say, too, is...
Check and see. Yeah. Oh, that's done? All right, bet.
Everybody needs to respect everybody at the end of the day in regards to this vaccine. Whether I choose to get it or not, be respectful of that person's decision, because I feel like it's a lot of going back and forth and people catching attitudes because somebody didn't get vaccinated. And at the end of the day, everybody has their own right to whatever they believe, whatever they want to do. We all are our own people. So people need to respect people whether they got vaccinated or not. And I just want to put that out
there. Yeah, that's a fact. So right now we're going to take a quick break. We're going to pay some bills. And we'll be right back on the Medlocks podcast to continue this conversation about the O variant, our perspective as the black millennial couple. All right? Stay tuned, y'all. We'll be back. What's up, world? Welcome to the Medlocks channel. We got that lit popcorn. We got the Patron, we got the Hennessy, we got the pure white Hennessy, we got the Crown Royal, we got the Ciroc, we got the big bag, 16 ounce, going for 15, and we got the mini bags going for 10. You can go ahead, go to the motherfucking Cash App, and go to Lit Popcorn and get your popcorn today. Make sure you hit that share button, that like button, and subscribe to the channel, because we got a lot of great videos coming your way. Holla.
You already know the vibes. It's your boy Absolino Red. Stop what you're doing right now, you heard? Tune into the Medlocks podcast.
This Lifetime, the chosen one. You are now tuned into the Medlocks podcast. Lit!
Yes. That's a fact, ladies and gentlemen. So, at the end of the day, you got to isolate. Mm-hmm. If you're exposed and if you're vaccinated, boosted, unvaccinated. It's all the same shit.
Oh yeah, and definitely if you feel like you have a fever or any kind of chest pains or anything like that, you definitely should call your doctor or go to your nearest hospital, urgent care, doctor's office, whatever. Just make sure you protect yourself.
So, the next question is which symptoms merit a hospital or emergency room visit? Before I go into the answer, matter of fact, let's do the answer first, and then we'll get into the respective thoughts of the guest. So it says, go if you experience severe shortness of breath or chest pain, back to what you were saying, and check your oxygen levels. One thing that I did have was the
oxygen thing.
oxygen meter. Yeah, I had that. I put my little finger on it. I was above 95 all the time, so I would think by the grace of God, you know what I'm saying? It says the normal oxygen saturation level is between 95 and 100%, so therefore that's according to the CDC. So just make sure you're between those levels and you should be good. So, in your opinion,
Okay.
Okay.
we'll start with you. When it comes to these hospital visits, right? Do you feel like people is just ODing, like they just going for the most? Oh, I got a slight scratchy throat. Let me just go, and I think I got COVID.
so.
Like I'm out of here. I'm about to go check. Like
I think so. Some people is like, now if you definitely if you have breathing problems and like course now if you have like a runny nose, and that means you don't need to go to the doctor in the hospital for a runny nose. Now definitely my opinion. Now if you have asthma and if you catch COVID, then you might want to go to a doctor and let them know like, yo, I got asthma. And if you have breathing problems or shortness of breath or a high fever, you definitely should go to the doctor for that. But if it's like a runny nose, like a little cough, then you should be okay, in my opinion.
that's Dr. Tariq's take on that.
Metlock.
What's up with you, Toy? What you got?
I definitely agree. You know, people forget that the emergency room is not for small symptoms. Like he said, if you have a runny nose, you know how to treat a runny nose. Go buy some Vicks. If you know anything small, you know, you could either stay at home or do go to your local doctor's office. That's not an emergency room visit, because people need to understand also, when you went to the emergency room, them copays ain't cheap. Or if you ain't got no insurance, it ain't cheap going to the emergency room. Now, if you do experience like shortness of breath or like chest pains, yes, go to the emergency room. That's what they are there for. But when it comes to like runny noses, little small coughs, or something simple that you could either treat at home or go to your local primary care doctor, you should do that instead of just running to the emergency room. Now, I know COVID is kind of scary for some people, so anybody who feel like, oh, I got this, oh, let me run to the emergency room. But just, you know yourself, you know your body. So just kind of feel certain things out before you just run straight to the emergency room. That's how I feel about that.
Anything else?
Nope. Just if you the emergency rooms clearly says for emergencies only. Definitely not for nothing small. Like I said, emergencies for emergency only. Like if you have bad, now if you having severe shortness of breath, if you have a high fever like 105, 106, then that's the case. Now you might want to go just to be on the safe side.
You said 105 and 106. Ain't you've been won't you be dead by that?
I don't know.
I just want to be
Anything
clear.
over
Like,
100.
I just want to be clear. 105, 106. Aren't you a dead man?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like maybe not. I'm not medical. That's why we bring in the actual article to help us. That's the exact reason why.
But what's your take on it? But
Emergency room visit?
yeah.
Oh, I think that honestly, if it's severe, I think like if your throat is like off the chart where you feel like it's like closing your windpipe type situation and you really, really gasping the air just because you went to the bathroom and you like, oh my God, I can't even breathe, or your chest is burning, or, you know, your windpipes feel like they closing, or like, you know, You got a fever to the point where you like shivering like you outside or at the North Pole or something. But aside from that, I just think that you can just do the basics. Tylenol, Motrin for fevers and chills.
Vicks for the nose.
Headaches. You could do Vicks. Tea. Ginger. Vitamin C. Lemon tea. You know, because that's what they're going to tell you when you get there. They're going to say, well, okay, you got COVID, cool. Now what you need to do is go home, take you some Motrin for your fevers, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you isolate from your family so you know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's like, if you do have it, it's still, they treat it as if you got the flu or cold or whatever anyway. Get you some Mucinex, you know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do for that. Right. And keep your oxygen. Make sure you maintain a reading of that. And if you got the new Apple Watch, they have the meter, oxygen meter on the Apple Watch. So we've come a long way. But with that being said, let's transition into more personal, opinionated topics.
Okay.
So now that we've spoken about this so far, I wanted to, in particular, in closing, I wanted everybody to get their opinion out, get their thought out, get their observations out, one by one, so that way we can end it on that. This is the Medlock Show, everybody. We thank you for watching the show. We thank you for listening out there. We thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. We greatly appreciate it, and we love everybody that support our movement right here. So shout out to all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? We love
Thank you guys so much.
Another Hood Fibers classic.
So first and foremost, we can let the lady go first.
Of course.
Or you and me can let the youngins go first.
Let's let the youngin go first.
She wants you, even though she's the female, she wants you to go first. So Ty, you have the floor, son. You can do your thing. Whatever you want to say.
Oh, I can say whatever I want to say?
Go in.
I was going to say this thing, but I'm not going to say that. But I will say, are the CDC really doing all they can right now? Like, are they really trying? Because I feel like we've been in this pandemic for 3 years almost. I'm like, nothing has really changed. I feel like it's the same from last year and the year before. I'm like, I haven't seen the change at all.
So that's all you got to say? You don't have no other... this is your platform right now to just speak your mind. Say what you want to say. But if that's all you got to say, then that's no problem.
I got to say one more thing. This goes to Dr. F. So Dr. F, I want to tell... If I could tell you face to face, I would ask you... Did you guys create the vaccine? Like, was this a man-made disease or was this actually from China? Because I feel like a vaccine couldn't have came from out of nowhere. I feel like, was this a man-made disease?
That's an aha moment, guys.
And I also did I looked at this documentary or this video from Dr. Phil Valentine. Shout out to Dr. Phil Valentine. He showed a scene of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris taking the vaccine, but it looked like they took it, but they never took it. And I was wondering if people looked at...
What you mean they never took it? When you say it, because the world is going to say, what does he mean? What did he see that we didn't see?
The needle didn't go...
I didn't even see it, by the way. I'm just saying.
The needle, like, it didn't go all the way in. It looked like it didn't go all the way in. The needle didn't go in the skin at all.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't see that video. I'm going to have to watch it myself to see what I think about that.
The YouTube banned it. They took it away. The second day. They took it out in 2 days, so it's banned.
Okay. Sidebar, guys. This is legit. I remember vividly. Mm-hmm. I will do this in regards to the show. There has been documented a situation where they supposedly gave a vaccine to a person and there was nothing in the vial, or what do they call it, the syringe?
The syringe.
There was nothing in it. And that's a known fact.
Well.
So my thing is this, for everybody out there, right? Nobody's trying to persuade nobody. Nobody's trying to force an opinion on anybody. We just having a pandemic pondering, if you will, right now, right? So with that being said, that's a fact. So that alone, when I seen that, because I did see that, I was like, why in the world? Like, when do we do big showings with cameras and news media, and then we fake somebody getting the shot? What is that about? Like, why would we even go there? What the hell? That right there, I wish I had a bomb, because I would drop a bomb right now. Like, that right there, to me, just alone is man, that's terrible. And hopefully I'll be able to screen share my iPad with you all so you can clearly see my Google search, because I'm going to pull it up. But while I'm doing that, did you finish, King Ty, what your final thoughts was?
Yes, that's all I want to say. That's all I want to say was, Dr. F, did you guys create the vaccine? Was this a man-made disease? That's all I want to say.
All right. Shout out to King Ty. And then we got the queen, the king to the queen. What you got?
I ain't got much to say, but again, like I said, let's all try to respect one another's opinions in regards to the vaccine and this whole pandemic, because at the end of the day, we all have opinions. And whether it's an opinion about this or an opinion about something else, let's all be respectful of each other and support whatever decision anybody decides, because we don't know what that person is going through or what their experience is or anything like that. So at the end of the day, everybody should stay safe, and you do what's right for you and not what somebody else tell you. You form your own opinion about it and not what somebody else tell you. You do your research and you make that decision on whatever you feel is best for yourself and your family. At the end of the day, it's you, nobody else. It's you and your household and whatever. So take your time, don't rush it, don't feel pressured, because then nowadays everybody and everything is pressure, but don't feel pressured.
Don't feel pressure. We even have it's on record that nurses are getting arrested for not even giving people shots. They faking like they're giving people shots and they're not really doing it.
Yeah.
And it's because of that pressure that you speak of. I don't agree with the pressure. I don't agree with the mandate. I don't agree with it. That's just my opinion. But if you feel different than me, I don't feel like you're the most worst person ever either. So it is what it is. We all entitled to how we want to feel. But
and trust and believe, there's doctors and nurses that have not taken the vaccine, and there are some of them that are standing up against it as well. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's your opinion. You do your research, you form your own opinion, and don't feel pressured by nobody about what you decide that you want to do that's best for yourself. At the end of the day, do you.
They even have nurses accidentally administering empty syringe shots for people. It's
a lot.
I'm over here just researching, and you can all of these different articles, and it's weird.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a lot of stuff that we don't know about, and until we fully get all the facts on everything, I mean, it's just a bunch of what ifs. And there's a lot of stuff that probably will never be answered, whether the truth comes out or not. I mean, that's what it is.
And there's a book about Dr. F as well by Robert Kennedy. If you were interested in that book, go get that book. It's called The Real Dr. F by Robert Kennedy, The Real Dr. Fauci. We're gonna just say the name because why not? Why not?
Yeah.
You feel me?
But that concludes what I have to say. You know, I support anybody and everybody, whatever decisions you decide to make. And it's 2022, y'all. We don't got to listen to nobody but ourselves.
Yes,
So.
yes.
Shout out to 2022.
Shout out to 2022. Shout out to 2022. I'm gonna just say that for me, I think that this whole thing, I just feel like just being mandated to do it, right? I feel like my main thing is the survival rate of this virus is in the 90%. So if I know that I can catch something in 90%, I'm gonna beat it. Then my alarm rate is not as high. On top of that, when I know what I've read, and it's like if you have pre-existing conditions and stuff, right? Then you are more susceptible to being hit hard by this virus. So I don't have diabetes, high blood pressure, asthma, lung problems, none of that. So once again, my alarm rate is not as high. With that being said, everybody that I've known close to me, that I touch, in my circumference, my cipher, if any one of them had got COVID up to this point, everybody is still here today living. Now, I have heard of people who has relatives who died from COVID, right? You know, we want RIP to those people. You know what I'm saying? So I can only go off of my perspective. My perspective is high survival rate. I have no pre-existing conditions. Everybody that I know beat it with flying colors. So my thing is, why should I be forced to do something? Because that's the lower level thing for me. The higher level thing, the deeper level thing on top of that is, once they say we mandate you to take this, and it goes through, now we are susceptible to whatever comes out in the future.
Right.
This is out. Y'all mandated to take that. This is out. I want to mandate you to take that. Then it becomes political. Maybe one president in the future may feel like, oh, maybe I get more political points, or maybe I have my legacy stamped if I make the world or the United States and get vaccinated for this little thing. And then, you know, my name will be in history books for being that one president who vaccinated everybody for this. And it's like, then it becomes also political, right? And business. Because now you got all these pharmaceutical companies saying, we want to produce this, we want to produce that, we want to, and it becomes $1 billion business, which it really is right now. And lastly, my last point is that you have to understand that it's a lot of confusion. How can we go from 14 days isolation to 10 days to 5 days? Okay, at one point it was widely considered that we get the vaccine, we Gucci, we ain't got to worry about nothing. But yet now people actually died who had the vaccine. Okay, and stuff like that.
Sorry to cut you off, but now they added another booster. So it's like, when is it gonna end?
They didn't even mention boosters in the beginning. Now they adding boosters. So my thing is this: as these things continue to change and update over and over as we learn, right?
Right.
Why would I just automatically get jabbed up? If you don't even know all of this other stuff about this and how we should go about, about this particular virus, right? Why would I be front and center in line to hurry up and get some type of shot that you developed for this? Maybe the same confusion and whatever's going on with what you're trying to do about the behavior behind this, maybe that same thing was put into the invention of the vaccine, where you don't even know, oh shit, maybe we should have put more of this in it. Maybe we put too much mercury. Maybe we should have scaled back on this. Maybe we should have put more of this. You know what I mean? Maybe we don't even need to do vaccine. Maybe we need to do something else.
Yeah.
So it's like, on one hand, y'all confused in a sense, and y'all keep coming out with all these different informations and nitbits about stuff, changing everything.
Right.
And then on the other hand, you trying to say, but you're so sure about this vaccine, though. You got the vaccine down pat.
Right.
But just everything else, you just don't quite got it together just yet.
Right. And
So
on
that's
top of that,
that's why I feel crazy.
after they came out with the vaccine, there was a new variant that came out shortly after that.
And it's variant after variant after variant. Now we got the Delta Omicron or something like that.
It's too many. So the thing is that you pushed and pressured on these first two vaccines. Get these vaccines. Then you did a booster. Then the new strands came, and then you still pushing a booster. And then going around is that there's another one coming. So at the end of the day, I mean, at least you shouldn't rush doing vaccines. At least wait until you got everything and then discover something that can help all of them and not just a couple.
Right.
And then you got to create something else to prevent that one. And then you got to create something else to get. Like, how many times are you going to keep shooting people up for vaccines and boosters?
And lastly, this is really lastly, all you grandparents, all you elderly people out there who watch the news, and that's your only source of information, I suggest you go to alternative media outlets.
Thank you.
And, just don't always get it from the big TV, because it's not always the end-all, be-all. And you guys out here, the TV is, if you only knew the TV, you would literally be out here scared to death to get COVID.
Yeah.
You would think that, if I get COVID, I'm supposed to have symptoms. You can still get it without having symptoms.
And the news outlet has been known to lie as
Absolutely.
well. So at the end of the day, like I said before, do your own research and know everything before you make a decision on something. Don't just rush because such and such said it. Do your research, look over everything, and then come up with the best solution for yourself.
That fits yourself, exactly. And like I said, once again, nobody's
forcing,
nobody's for, against. Do what's best for you in your situation, whatever makes you happy and your family safe, do that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And
we're for either one, whatever decision you choose.
Do what you gotta do. We
support
do
either.
What you do.
We just believe in you making your own decision for yourself and what's best for you. That's the team we're on.
Amen to that.
And this is something I promise is the last thing I want to say.
Go ahead.
So I don't know if y'all noticed, but at my old school, my grandma would get a notification every single day that somebody called COVID in my class, COVID this. And at Manville, you would also get a notification from the school saying COVID. Get somebody.
Yeah, right. That you was in the classroom with a COVID positive, right?
And do y'all think they should shut the schools down, or do y'all think they need to, or should they just keep them running, or if you have COVID, just do y'all think
I think they should definitely wear masks.
At least enforce it.
Yeah, mask is a must while this thing is going around. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, if they don't wear masks, it's kind of like, I don't know too many people that die from it. Maybe there's people out there who obviously know mad people that die from it. So their perspective is different.
Right.
I can only go by my field of vision.
Right.
So,
but I still do feel that even though people have not too many people that have died, I do still feel that it's important to wear a mask because you do want to protect it. And the best way to prevent it from spreading is if we all do wear a mask, because that's the only way and the best way that we can stop it from constantly spreading is if we do at least try our best to cover ourselves from spreading it. So I do feel like in schools they should kind of enforce at least a mask, because you don't want kids dying from this. So it is important to do that.
At this point, everybody in my household had caught it.
Correct.
For the most part.
Everybody. Even the baby.
And we've been masked up.
Yeah.
Sanitized a lot. Sprayed down stuff clean. Right. And somehow you still get it. I mean, this thing is It's out here. It is taking some people's lives. A lot less people's lives than people who are surviving. And we just want to make sure everybody has some type of, research that they do.
Right.
Read newspapers as well.
Yeah.
We was going by the Wall Street Journal article earlier, answering questions from there, giving our take on different things. We are not medical experts. We're just giving our opinion. This is the pandemic, pandering,
Yes.
pondering, conversation amongst the black millennial couple.
Yes.
You feel me? And what our perspective was, with Toya O'Boy and King Tile and myself, you know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, we coming to a closing. We thank everybody for tuning in. We're grateful for all you guys for listening.
Yes,
Everybody's
yes.
on the YouTube channel watching us do this show. And we're grateful for everybody for even being here with us. So we love you all. And you got any last words?
Yeah, just one last thing. If y'all can, in the comments below, if y'all can please share either your own experience with
Please
COVID, or if you see any articles or something that you found that you want to share that we can also
all
put out,
means.
please share that with us
We
as
all
well.
about sharing
Because
information.
we want to make sure that we're only putting out the right information as well. So please comment below, share, respond, anything, so we can keep this conversation going.
That's a fact, because we want everybody to win. We want for you what we want for ourselves, and that's safety. Anything from you, King Ty?
That's it for the night.
That's it. It's the Medlock Show.
Yeah.
Pandemic Pondering. Cheers to you and yours. Salute to you and yours. Happy New Year 2022.
Yes, Happy
We're gonna
New
keep
Year,
coming with these
everyone.
videos. Keep coming with these podcasts on a consistent basis. It's the Medlock Show. Peace.
Bye.
Another Hood Fibers classic.